Now, if people are not able to make a decision, Jagriti, you were saying something, sorry.
Yes. So what if a client comes and says कि relationship में बहुत अच्छा भी हो रहा है और बहुत बुरा भी हो रहा है, but मुझे नहीं पता मेरे को क्या करना है, मुझे इसमें रहना भी है या नहीं रहना है या क्या करना है मुझे नहीं पता, but मतलब thing is not working out, तो हम उसमें क्या करेंगे कि हम उनको ऑप्शन देंगे that you want to can't move out or will again come back to the problem, that what is the expectation?
So that's the next thing that I was actually going to.
Okay.
What do you do when a client says I'm not able to make a decision?
Okay.
Right, so because when we begin we need to know what they are working towards. Are they working towards making the relationship work? Are they working towards moving out of the relationship, or do they want more details before they can make their decision? But we need to know this. So if the client is not able to make that decision, what do you do? How do you help them?
Okay.
Anyone who can answer that?
The pros and cons, right?
Correct. So whenever a client says I have to make a decision but I'm not able to make a decision, the process to use is cost benefit analysis, also known as pro and con.
That is choice and price.
Choice and price.
देखो पहली मैं ये सेशन अभी छोड़ नहीं सकती, सेकंड मैं लिफ्ट में नहीं भेजना चाहती हूँ बॉक्स, थर्ड आपसे मिलना भी चाहती हूँ।
तृप्ति, मुझे समझ में नहीं आया आप क्या बोला।
नहीं सॉरी,
अच्छा ठीक है, sure. So is the idea clear? Now what is cost benefit analysis is, let's say there are two choices. You ask the client to do a pro for choice 1 and a con for choice 1, and also a pro for choice 2 and con for choice 2. Let them list all of them down on a piece of paper, and then ask them to make a decision in terms of what now makes sense. Generally this will help them make the decision. They may actually end up saying that logically now I know what I need to do, but I don't think I'll be able to do it. Then you go back into individual counseling, that what stops them from applying what they think they need to do.
सर मैं ये करवाती हूँ, बट लाइक इन द एंड ये सब तो मुझे पता ही था मैम, ये तो मुझे पता ही है, आप ये क्यों लिखवा रहे हो, उनका ऐसा रिएक्शन आता
नहीं, सो करेक्ट, अगर आपको पता था, सो आई जस्ट नीड टू नो व्हाट द डिसीजन इज. सो अगर आपको पता था तो आप डिसीजन मुझे बता दोगे, तो मुझे ये सब कराने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. बट इफ यू आर सेइंग कि मैं नहीं डिसीजन ले पा रहा हूँ, then we are doing this for the decision. So my point is very simple to the client. When a client says I know this, so my question is, so what is the decision? Or I have not been able to make the decision, then we do this.
तो सर एक बात और बताओ ना, so we do pros and cons, वो लिख भी रहे हैं कि बच्चे को and all this, but then they say कि नहीं, फिर भी decision मेरा है to leave the family. I'm just giving a hypothetically. So अब and we know कि नहीं भैया इसको बच्चे के साथ रहना चाहिए, उसके साथ जाके कौन सा बड़ा अच्छा हो जाएगा, so क्या करें, dilemma.
नहीं Tripti, that's not our decision to make. If the client says I want to move out, they want to move out. I am no one to decide otherwise.
सर उसको नहीं बताना कि बच्चा ज्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट है लाइफ में,
पर वो तो आपको या मुझे कैसे पता कि उसको नहीं पता? Probably she knows and she's still making a decision. How can I make the decision for her? Right? Matlab, what if she listens to you, she decides to stay with the child, and then later on commits suicide because of something that really went wrong? Now she wouldn't have the child, she wouldn't even have the life, and that can very well happen.
Okay, तो यहाँ पे हमारा वैल्यू सिस्टम भी कॉन्फ्लिक्ट कर जाता है कि हाउ कैन एक्स्ट्रा मैरिटल में वो जा सकती है एंड ऑल.
So अगर हमारा वैल्यू सिस्टम कॉन्फ्लिक्ट कर रहा है, then we need to refer them to another therapist.
Okay.
It's very simple. The decision to continue in a relationship or move out of a relationship is a client's decision, because we are not living his or her life. We actually don't know what they are experiencing. Our values, our biases are more in sync with the kind of life that we are living. If we were in the exact same equation as they were in, probably we may want to change our value system also. Right? So we have to be careful with that, that at no point can our value system interfere with the decision that the client has made. Yes, I understand that the client is not able to make a decision and therefore you're helping them do pro and con. But the pro and con is not being done because you want them to change their decision.
So what if the one of the client who is coming, he or she is diagnosed with a clinical illness, and he or she is in a certain episode or that phase during that time, and we know the decision they are making right now is not a sane decision because they are currently going through a phase or that episode, suppose dissociative or anything. So in that case, what do we do?
Okay, so the answer to both your and Tripti's question, which I was about to complete right now, is this: that remember, even after the client decides to move out of the relationship, in whatever mental state they do it, okay, the question is not just about moving out of this relationship. The question is, how do they choose to live their life after this relationship also? Because eventually there is no point of moving out of a relationship if you're still going to be miserable.
Make Sir, sense? Again, if I share some more and then you give the answer.
हाँ बोलिए.
So जैसे Ashita said about physical illness and all, so I have a similar case going on currently. So in that, husband is diagnosed, is 8 months old child, and husband is diagnosed with some issue in which his eyesight will go. So 70% it has gone in one eye. And doctor has told that this within 2-3 years, it 100% will go, and even child can have it because it's inherited, right? And now this lady is totally, like in the session also, she's only crying and crying and crying, and she's saying, I can't handle this and I'm going to commit suicide. So I have referred to psychiatrist also. But now this it is not, and if she says कि मुझे अलग भी हो जाना है, so now what can be done? So is it a relationship counseling or an individual counseling?
No, if she's already decided that I want to move out, then it's an individual counseling.
No, not move out. Move out in the sense suicide.
Suicide is again individual counseling.
Okay, fine.
Okay. Because with what you're saying, see, again, in this case, the girl seems to have made a decision already.
Okay.
Right? The reason for suicide comes more from a fact that I've made a decision that I want to move out, but probably for some reasons I'm not able to move out.
And that's, she's saying I'm not able to handle all this. Although love is there,
she's not able to handle all this.
I'm not able to handle.
So if she's not able to, correct. So that's where the question is, Tripti, right? I want to learn to handle this better by being in the relationship, or I want to be able to handle this better by moving out of the relationship.
Okay, so moving out would mean both. One is divorce and the other is suicide.
So when she says divorce and suicide, which is the one which is a preferred mode? Suicide is obviously not something which is a preferred mode, right?
So for her, that is the preferred mode.
If that was a preferred mode, why is she coming to you?
Yeah, so to validate her decision.
If a client really wants to commit suicide, they would never come to you.
I agree. That is why it's continuing.
Precisely. So the point for me is, all right, now that you're coming to me, all right, what do you expect from this session? So I need to help you. You need me to help me. And my question is, how should I help you? No, I really want to be able to handle this better. Brilliant. So how do you want to handle this better?
If I answer that, why do you come to me? So it is like forced by mother कि नहीं तुम counseling कराओ.
Correct. So now that you're coming to me, what can I help you with?
Okay.
See, my point is very simple with clients. Whether you're being forced to come to me for a session or not, you're coming to me. right? तो हम टाइम तो निकालने ही वाले हैं एक दूसरे के साथ में. Now if you are going to spend time with each other, we may as well do it constructively. So forget what your mother wants. You tell me, what do you want me to help you with?
Okay.
Now the conflict comes because the mother is sending her to you, probably because the mother wants her to stay in the relationship.
Yeah.
Correct. And her conflict is, I want you to help me to move out of the relationship.
So is it relationship or is it responsibilities?
It's
moving
her
out
choice.
of moving out of relationship. Here I feel it's moving out of responsibility.
But that's her choice now. Who am I or you to decide whether she wants to take up a responsibility or not in her life?
Right.
Right. Well, it's like, let's say my parents had a multi-million-dollar company. They ended up having a lot of loans on it. Okay. Now my parents expect me that because I'm their children and they've taken care of me, they don't want the company to go bankrupt. And they want me to take up the responsibility of all of that.
Okay.
And I am thinking that if I take the responsibility of that and I start repaying that amount, then I would very soon be in the same bankruptcy state as they are in. So what happens to my children? Now I'm torn between, should I take up the responsibility that my parents want me to take up, or should I take up the responsibility that I have towards myself or towards other people? So that when we talk about responsibility, we generally look at it in isolation with respect to the problem that they have. Life is far broader than that. I may have a responsibility towards my partner, towards my parents. I also have a responsibility towards myself.
Excuse me, apart from responsibility, it could be the agony which she is going through. The mother is not able to see that. She just wants her to be free of that agony or that confusion which she's going
precisely through. And that's what I was speaking about, my responsibility towards myself, that it's my responsibility to keep myself happy also. I can't continue in this level of agony all my life only because I have to fulfill some other responsibilities. So the concept of responsibility is far broader. We may want to contextualize it in specific situations with respect to relationships and so on, but that's probably not a very reliable way to make a decision, right? And therefore that decision has to be made by the client. Now coming to what Ashita said and what you mentioned, that but what if the client is right now making a irrational decision, right? Now the answer to that is, I would tell the client that, all right, while we are working towards helping you in this relationship, obviously the point is for you to be able to live your life happily even after this relationship is over. To that, no client says no. Every client says yes. So then my question would be, in order for your relationship to, even if it ends, for you to be happier after the relationship, we need to be able to plan your relationship. Sorry, we need to be able to plan your exit in a way in which it works for everyone, right? And for that to happen, you still need to be able to understand yourself and your partner better, because it will help you plan the exit strategy better. And you have to also understand what are the possible things that can go wrong after you move out of the relationship, which may stop you from being happier. So in case of Tripti, when you spoke about the child, the fact that the child's life is still at stake, and after moving out of this relationship, I may regret in future, here I should have taken care of the child, is still something that we have to address. Her decision to move out of the relationship doesn't mean that that is the end of it. After that, we have to also help her plan how she wants to move out. And after moving out, what can still create a bother, right? And that's probably where the strategies come in, that all right, so while I move out of the relationship, probably I need to do A, B, C, D, E things to be able to take care of the child, so that I don't feel guilty about it later on. That I've taken responsibility for myself and I've also taken responsibility for my child. But it can't be that I have to take the responsibility of my child at the cost of myself. That the client will not agree, and that will actually push them more towards that suicide that we were talking about, right? And Ashita, in the example that you spoke about, where the client is in that mental state where they are not rational and they have been diagnosed with certain things, my question to the client would be that if this problem that you are in currently is not addressed, would it still create hindrance in you living a happier life after you move out of the relationship? The answer is yes. All clients know that. So my question is, can we work with this problem first? Can we help you get into a mental state where you are at peace with yourself? And then we decide what needs to be done. Again, the client says yes. Is the idea clear? Yes, because in that, and that's the reason I said pro and con, because in that pro and con, all of this will come. If the client is writing pro and con elaborately, then one of the con will be that, but today, with all my insanity, my partner supports me. Okay, I have a diagnosed disorder. My partner is still there. They are not choosing to move out of the relationship. So that's a big pro. While I want to move out of the relationship is a separate thing, but my partner still chooses to stand by me. Right? That becomes a very, very powerful pro. Similarly, in Tripti's case, when she was talking about the child, the con of moving out of the relationship is I may feel guilty about leaving my son behind.
Okay.
Right? Now,
Okay.
those pros and cons will help the client, one, make a decision, and second, take care of the other things that they need to take care of. So if they've made a decision, I want to move out, but the con is that my child, the fact that I'm leaving my child behind is going to make me feel guilty, then my question to the client would be, all right, can we do something in a way in which while you move out, you're still able to take care of the child and not feel guilty about it? Right? Or in case of what Ashita spoke about, that because you're saying that I would still be, the fact that I wouldn't have a partner who would support me even with this mental state that I'm in, can we first work with that mental state? Right? So that gives you a bargaining chip to ensure that the client wants to continue with you so that they can first take care of all the peripheral things. But if you tell the client that your decision is wrong, you have lost the client. Because then you are like their family members who are trying to decide what is right and what is wrong for them. And there is nothing that takes the client away from a therapy faster than a therapist who tries to make decision for the client. Is this clear for us?
Sir, one thing I wanted to ask, when we are doing cost profit analysis, can there be that there are certain hidden costs or hidden profits which we are not able to gauge right now, like the anxiety that may appear after that, or the dependency they realize after the breakup, or maybe certain strength also, yes, that they were able to grow better. So can this situation arise?
So what happens is, once you've done the cost benefit analysis, they don't make a decision immediately. They've made the cost benefit analysis. They stay with it for a week or so. So it's like your session ends with the cost benefit analysis ending. Then you tell them, be with yourself for the next week, read this, see if there is anything else that comes to your mind, add more to it, whatever comes to your mind. In a week's time, when they stay with that chart with themselves, generally the hidden things also start coming up, because their mind already starts thinking in that direction and starts creating whatever impact they would experience as a result of that. So the decision is not made immediately after you've done the activity. You give the client a good one. So there is like a temporary decision that is made, that all right, based on what I've done right now, I think this will be the decision that I want to take going forward. But you tell them, now that you know what you probably would do, let's give it a week more so that your mind can mull over this, and then we can continue with this and make a final decision in the next week. And you will notice that there are times when churning takes place. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir.
All right, perfect. Anyone else who has any questions on this?
If a client comes and हम उसको ये cost benefit analysis देते हैं, and the client put in pros के I want to be in that relationship with the partner, and the cons is के this will impact my relationship with my mother or my parents. If like an example अभी जो discuss हो रहा था कि the mother wants के वो relationship में ना रहे, या vice versa.
So when the
then how?
client says that I want to be with this person, my question is, what makes the person choose to be with this person? I want to be with this person is not a pro. The pro is when you are with this person, what do you feel? What do you get because of which you want to be with this person?
Okay.
So the pro and con has to be really elaborate. It can't be that, so it can't be as simple as I want to be with them. When you say I want to be with them, how do you feel? What are the reasons why you want to be with them? What are you trying to achieve by being with them? Right? So then it will come to I feel loved, I feel happy with them, they understand me better, there is a chemistry that's there between us, we complement each other.
Yes.
So I need all of those details.
Okay. And then in con, if the client says, okay, this will again impact my relationship with my parents or someone who's against the relationship.
Perfect. So this will impact my relationship with my parents. And what would be the cons associated to that? I'll feel guilty about it. I'll feel bad about it. So all of those things will come in. I'm dependent on my parents right now for finances. Right? So
or maybe this will break my relationship with my parents.
Or this will break my relationship with my parents. So all of that will come into cons. Eventually, the client will have to make a decision what is more important for them and then try to work around it. So for example, if a person says that, you know what, in spite of this, I think I want to be with my partner. And then I would try to find better ways of ensuring that in the long run, I'm able to explain it to my parents. Because eventually, if my parents see me happy, then maybe they will get convinced.
Okay.
So I'm willing to take that chance. So then there are also people who would say that, you know what, I can't take that chance. My parents are too important for me. I'm willing to give up the relationship if it's at the cost of my relationship with my parents. So be it. But that decision they have to make. Now, what will happen after this is once they make the decision, they may tell you that, but I feel guilty about leaving my partner.
Okay.
Now that's an individual issue. You'll have to help them get over the guilt.
Yes.
So is this clear? Where does the relationship issue come to an end and where the individual counseling starts?
Yes. And what if a client says, I want both the things, to be with the partner and to make my relationship with my parents better also?
So choose priority. Which one would be the first thing that you want to focus on? Which is the second thing that you want to focus on? That's where I said, for example, people would at times say that given the cost and benefit, I think I want to be with my partner. I would really want to make my parents understand this, but maybe there would be a time for me to do that. Right now, they have their own understanding of why my relationship wouldn't work. And if only they would see it work, probably it will work out with it.
Suppose they're not able to express हमें नहीं समझ में आ रहा pros क्या है कौन है confused statement, then in that case
so that's where your questions will come. They're all right.
Then I have to
correct
probe.
Then you have to probe them so that they can list कि क्या क्या हो सकता है क्या क्या नहीं हो सकता है, right? But generally when you ask the client what will be the benefits of being in this relationship, they are able to tell you. Otherwise they wouldn't really be wanting to be in that relationship, right?
So again, the pros and cons will be in observable terms, right?
Correct.
Okay.
One more question, sir. So in this scenario only of writing pros and cons, supposing the lady writes, I need to stay here in this relationship only because financially nobody can support me, I can't support myself, and then the issue is that it's a domestic violence or it's a sexual abuse case in her relationship. So then do we have a legal responsibility or moral responsibility?
Okay, so the way I work with clients on these terms is when the client says I have to be in the relationship because I'm financially dependent on my partner.
Yeah.
My question to the client would be, do you want to continue remaining financially dependent on your partner?
Okay, but maybe not qualified or anything then?
Which is okay, but there are multiple ways of becoming financially independent. ऐसा किसी ने नहीं बोला कि only financially qualified people get independent. You just have to think. So what will happen then is you'll have to help the client get into it becomes like a coaching session where they need to be able to understand what they can do to become financially independent.
Career counseling
counseling kind of a thing, which may include them developing new skills. So it may be a more long-term game that they're playing. They're all right. Ideally, I don't want to be in this relationship. Currently, I'm financially dependent on my partner. So I'm kind of taking the example of a case right now. So I have a client who told me that, Nitin, the relationship has become so bad that I would either kill myself or I'll kill my partner. Okay, but I can't leave the relationship because I'm financially dependent on them, to an extent where I'm coming to you for therapy session which is also being paid by my partner.
Yeah. Yes, actually.
Right? Now I want to move out, but I can't because I'm financially dependent. So my question to her, all right, so do you want to continue remaining financially dependent? She said no. So what would you like to do? She says, ideally, if I can at least make enough money to take care of myself, I would leave this. Can you think and tell me what that figure would be? How much money do you need to start with? She did a calculation in her mind, and after a week, she came back and gave me the calculation. Now, my question, what all can you do? She initially said, I can't do anything. Okay. I said, all right, can you think of people around you who are doing something to become financially independent? Okay. Can you search on stories online? Can you find ways in which people have been able to become financially independent? There are always ways, right? So she then went across some stories and so on. She says, there are people who have been able to become financially independent by doing things without really dependent on their education qualification. So I was, all right. So what would that be? What would you like to do? In her case, she told me that, Nitin, I think I can understand people's pain because I've gone through a lot of pain. So if I can go into this capacity where I can help people manage their pain, help them resolve their pain, and can earn out of it, at least enough to be able to make a living out of it, then probably it will be a good starting point. I asked her, can you think of what would those things be? Right? She took a week or so and she said, there are two things that I can think of. One, either to do something like what you are doing, become like a counselor and help other people, or I could get into social service work. Okay. I asked her, which of the two would you prefer to do? She said, I don't know. I don't know much about either. So I need to explore. So then we gave her time. She explored, she came back and she said, I think I want to do a mix of two. Begin with social service, because that will probably give me some kind of a job. It will not give me enough money to move out right now, but at least I'll start getting in touch with people. Okay. And that's something that my husband would not even bother me for, because he is not threatened that I'm earning money and so on. For him कि चल social service करने जा रही है तो उसके लिए भी वो एक status symbol है कि मेरी बीवी social service में involved है. And from there I would work towards developing my skills so that I can become independent in future. She actually created a 1.5 year, 2 year plan of action, that in 2 years I will move out.
Okay.
And she did eventually.
So, Nitin, in correlation to this, now suppose the husband had a problem with her, going out or doing anything at all, then what do we do?
So what else could you do? So then it could be, I could do certain courses, like she's coming to me for therapy. I could do certain courses from the home. I could do certain things where things can be done from the home. So you could have, so for example, again, when husbands have a problem, the problem is that they don't want people to go out and work. If they could do something online, probably they would not object. See, the fact is that she's coming to me for therapy. That means the husband is at least open enough for her to do something. Right? So I just need to be able to find what she thinks in her given situation she can start with. And then that's where boundary setting comes in. That she needs to start developing the confidence to set up boundaries slowly and gradually, that itna to mujhe chahiye hai. And as long as they can put forth it confidently, but then you are working with the confidence she needs to have. And the ability to set those boundaries and stick to those boundaries. Again, that's not to say that it's going to be easy. I'm not even saying it's going to happen in 1 session, 2 sessions. Like I said, for the client that I'm talking about, she actually came up with a 1.5, 2 year plan of action. And she stuck to it. There was a lot of individual work that we had to do with her for that. But she did eventually move out. The thing is, it's better than remaining in that relationship for eternity and keep complaining about it. What also happened was, because she had a clear 2 year plan of action, her frustration with the relationship in the 2 years came down, because she knew that this is all up for a reason. I am going to achieve something out of it. Does this answer your question, Rajni?
Yes, Nitin.
So, if the case is that the husband is not ready to give her money also for the courses or anything, and if we sense a need that we need to tell her that you need to be more stronger in demanding, do we do that, or how do we do that?
You don't tell her you need to be more demanding. You ask her what needs to be done. So, for example, in case of the client that I'm talking about, she had the financial issue that my partner only gives me X amount of money. Right? So, while the partner was not against the idea of her going out for social service work, okay, but the idea of social service work was because the husband expected her not to earn anything, so that she still financially remains committed or dependent on the partner. Right? So I spoke to her, and when I was asking her, I asked her, so what do you need to do? She said, one, I need to find some way of asking him for more money. मतलब इतना कि मैं थोड़ा थोड़ा बचाना चालू करूं. Okay? And that's where then the communication bit comes in, where she developed the confidence. She spoke to the partner and she said that इतने में मैं I can't do it. I'll keep bothering you 24/7 कि मुझे पैसे और चाहिए, पैसे और चाहिए, पैसे और चाहिए. अब तेरे को झगड़ना है, तेरे को मारना है, तेरे को जो भी करना है कर, लेकिन जो चाहिए वो तो चाहिए ना. मुझे तो मेरा I need money to survive, right? She actually made it so painful for the husband that the husband eventually decided कि इसको थोड़े पैसे ज्यादा देना बनता है. But I can't give you a standard answer for that, because in every client's life, what needs to be done changes. So you need to sit with the client and help the client define what is it that they need to do. What do they think is, where do they think there's still some chance of success?
Yes, sir.
One question I have, Nitin. Suppose a client is sent by the mother-in-law or somebody else. She comes here. And what if the problem actually lies with her? Because we are seeing from this, we are subjective, we are seeing from the client's point of view. Maybe she doesn't realize that the problem is actually me. So in that case, the other partner's point of view also we have to take, or how do we take just one unilateral?
If the mother-in-law is sending the wife,
or anybody else for that, she doesn't realize the problem lies with me, but the actual problem is her only. So in
correct. But so there are two parts of it. One, if someone else is sending her, thinking that it's her fault, then someone else can also ask the partner to accompany her for the therapy. Then it becomes a joint session. You will get both point of views. Right? But if the other partner is deciding कि नहीं मुझे तो जाना ही नहीं है, then there is some merit in what this person is also saying to you. There will be at any situation, in any point where two people are in a relationship and there is a problem. The problem is at both levels. There is never a situation where only one person is at fault. Even when one partner comes for a session, okay, doesn't mean that their partner is wrong. At some place they have their faults as well.
Right.
And therefore we said extremes, right? Both of them are going to the extremes. Right? Now, what I said was still stands, that my question to the partner would be, all right, you think that the problem lies with your partner. Right? But after you move out of this relationship, you still need your next relationship to work, right? So you will need to be able to understand what are the different types of people and what are the areas of conflict that can happen between people. The client says yes. That again gives you an entry into the suggestibility, sexuality, love languages. The point is, today the client doesn't realize that there is a problem with them because they are not understanding themselves and their partner better. Once you help them understand themselves and their partner better, their understanding is greater, their choices will change. But you want them to first come to a place where they are willing to understand themselves and their partner better.
So that will be the second step.
Correct. Everything is based on that. But in order to reach there, we want the client to at least start with one point. They can always make a decision to change the outcome later on, which is completely okay, which in many cases will happen, because their initial decision is based on their current understanding. As their understanding evolves, the decision may evolve.
Right. Yes. Thank you.
Is this clear?
Yeah.
Are we all good till this?
Yes.
Yes. I'm audible.
हाँ Pratisha, you're audible. Sorry. हाँ Jagti.
So just to summarize, if we give a client the pros and cons and then the client says ये तो मुझे पता है, and then we will ask what is your decision, and then
जागृति, एक मिनट है, we don't give the pros and cons, the client comes up with pros and cons.
yes, the client comes with the pros and cons, and the client says ये तो मुझे पता है, and then we will ask that what is your decision then, and then the client says but I am not able to do this decision, I am not able to apply on my decision. Then next question what we ask is what is stopping them, and then we comes to the individual counseling, right?
Correct. Okay, also when you're doing pros and cons, you will notice there are certain things which will be available in both pros and cons. For example, I've had situations where, so let's say choice 1 is continue, choice 2 is moving out. I've had clients telling me the pro of continuing is my children. They will have both the parents to take care of them, right? And then in the pro of moving out, they say children, because they would not be brought up in a toxic environment like we have right now, with I and my partner keep fighting with each other. Now this is actually interesting, because this is what clients end up doing when they are wanting to make a decision about moving out. They would take children as an excuse why they can't move out, and when then you talk about continuing, they will use children as an excuse why they should not continue. So they are using the same checkpoint to actually argue on both fronts. So whenever you have a situation where a client has mentioned the same thing at both levels, you ask the client to cut it out. That's not a basis of decision, because that's there in both cases. So eventually what they do is they keep cutting out what the common pros and cons are, and then the only things that are left are what they are supposed to make a decision based on. Is the idea clear?
So can you please repeat again?
Yeah.
Sure. So let's say, all right, so can you give me pros of staying in a relationship? Quickly. Anyone?
To be feel more loved.
Yeah, but
So security.
Security.
What else?
Socially appropriate.
Someone there to understand.
Social status.
What else?
You also have somebody to depend on.
Children, of course.
or financial dependence, like we earlier discussed.
What else? What are the cons?
Emotionally frustrated.
Quality degradation of life.
Self-esteem.
Venting anger on loved ones.
Or emotional instability.
So other relationships get affected because I'm now venting anger on other people.
Emotional torture or emotional.
What else?
It could also be physical torture.
Affecting my work if she's working, career. Career affected.
Affecting physical health, like can't sleep or something.
Pros of moving out?
Independence,
Peace of mind.
Yeah.
What else?
Increase in self-esteem. Maybe they can get into a better relationship.
better career, better lifestyle, better health, like all of those things.
Anything else? Cons of moving out?
सर कई बार ऐसे होता है ना कि if I move out, he will be happy. ऐसा भी होता है.
होता है.
Sacrifice, martyr.
Martyr, yes.
She will be happier. Cons of moving out?
Financial problems.
Social status.
Children,
Financial issues. What else?
Maybe children are not in the
They miss
relationship.
out on the one of the parents.
Children may actually come at all four places.
yeah.
Yes.
What else?
Social stigma. Yeah.
Loneliness.
Possible rejection from family.
Social stigma.
Being pitied by others.
Which actually will become again a part of social stigma.
Yeah.
Make sense till here?
Yes.
Now, children is in all four categories. removed, because that cannot be a decision factor now. Make sense till here?
Yes.
और कोई है जो चारों कैटेगरी में है?
Social.
Social is in these two. So you will also notice these two kind of reflect each other. The cons for continue and the pros for moving out will be similar, and the pros for continuing and the cons of moving out will generally be similar. They're like mirror images.
So then those children should not be deleted, or is it?
Can you say that again?
No. So continue में pros of continue में children आना and cons के moving out में children आना can be accepted.
They will be accepted. Correct. So if the children was not in these two, then it would be accepted.
So then we need not to delete those two.
No, then we don't. So if a person says कि moving out में कोई फायदा या नुकसान है ही नहीं बच्चों का, बस साथ में रहने में फायदा और साथ में रहने में फायदा है और मूविंग आउट में नुकसान है, लेकिन
then they stay.
मतलब अगर वो यहाँ पे और यहाँ पे हैं, in the sense, so anything that's in only pro for one and con for two, that doesn't get deleted.
Yeah.
But something that is on all four.
सर फिर वो children वापस डाल दो. Something in all four, तो सर okay. Then
deleted it.
Then it is deleted.
Then it is deleted.
Okay.
And children would generally be in all four perpetually.
Yeah. I understand.
Something which is as a pro for one and pro for two both, deleted. Something that is in con for one and con for two, deleted. So basically the only thing that's not deleted is what is in pro for one and con for two. Is this clear?
Yeah. So then what?
Perfect. Now, if you notice, other relationships getting affected दोनों जगह आ रहे हैं. Con for one and con for two. मतलब अगर मैं साथ में रहता हूं तो मैं दूसरों का झगड़ा अपने बाकी मतलब मेरे पार्टनर का झगड़ा अपने फैमिली मेंबर्स को उतारूंगा. इवेंचुअली मेरे दिमाग में तो ये ना, आई एम विद माय पार्टनर बिकॉज ऑफ माय फैमिली, तो फ्रस्ट्रेशन किसके ऊपर निकलेगा? मेरे पेरेंट्स के ऊपर. तो उनके साथ मेरा रिलेशनशिप खराब होगा. और अगर मैं मेरे पार्टनर को छोड़ देता हूं तो भी मेरे पेरेंट्स के साथ रिलेशनशिप खराब हो सकता है. So technically, whether I stay or don't stay, in both cases, my relationship with my partner is more or less gone for a toss.
So that gets deleted.
Correct. So because then that no longer remains a factor for decision. Is this clear now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Now, the next set of things is, what is it which is purely emotion based? For example, when the client says feeling loved, loneliness, insecurities, this is actually nothing to do with partner. This is how you feel when you are with the partner, right? And with individual counseling, that can be taken care of. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes. So again, that's not a factor to determine whether I should be with my partner or not. Unless it's such an overarching feeling, but if it was such an overarching feeling, you wouldn't be there.
Right.
Right? So if it's not such an overarching feeling, and if you are there, then emotions can be worked upon through one-to-one counseling. If a client says, I would feel lonely if I'm not with my partner, I can help the client feel better.
How about trust? Trust can also, it's also individual.
Trust is also individual. Right? So this is how you help the client make a decision. The reason why clients are not able to make a decision is because they get lost between objective reasons and subjective reasons. Subjective reasons you can help them work with through individual therapy, because it's their subjective reasons.
So give some example.
This example, that a client comes and says that I am so much in love with my partner that that if I'm not with them, I don't think I'll be able to live my life.
Okay.
What if you are able to live your life happily with you without even after you moved out of the relationship?
ऐसे वो तो कह रही है नहीं.
वहीं तो थेरेपी आएगा ना. वो तो अगर किसी का ब्रेकअप हो जाता है और आपको आके बोलता है कि मेरा ब्रेकअप हो गया, आई वांट टू कमिट सुसाइड बिकॉज़ माय पार्टनर डजंट वांट टू बी विद मी. नाउ यू वुडंट टेल देम दैट गो टू योर पार्टनर, राइट?
Right.
So if you can help a person who had a breakup to move on from a relationship and live a happier life, the same logic applies to someone who wants to break up but is not able to break up out of the fear that I would be lonely without my partner.
Okay.
Right? So all emotional reasons can be handled through one-to-one sessions. So whenever a client says, I would not feel loved, I would feel lonely, I would be insecure, my society would look down on me. All of these things can be handled through one-to-one counseling. Because while the client is talking about it in terms of relationship, it's not really in terms of relationship. These are generic individual problems that clients actually are also having. A person who thinks I need to depend on my relationship to feel loved, at some level is telling you that internally I feel there's something missing that needs to be completed by my partner.
Deprivation of love.
Okay? And sadly, that's probably the single biggest reason why they are in a problem right now that they are in. Also remember, this is a preliminary decision. Huh? This decision is to help the client understand that whether you choose to stay or move out, you need to be able to understand yourself and your partner better for the current relationship and for the future relationships. Now, once you explain things to them, they may change their decisions because they may realize that, you know what, some of the factors on which I've made a decision were based on my poor understanding of myself and my partner. And that understanding has changed now. So that decision to change the decision is always the client's. But you want a starting point to begin with.
So pros and cons would change too then accordingly.
Correct. So the client can choose to then do a pro and con again after you have explained the models to them.
Okay.
So this also becomes like before and after. Clear till here?
Yes.
Yes. So then the next is we remove all the emotional reasons. And both from pros and cons, because if a client says that I get frustrated with my partner, you can do individual counseling to help the client feel more comfortable with the partner. It's possible. But does the client want to become comfortable with their partner or not, given that their basic minimum requirements are not being met? Because that would probably require the client to readjust their deeper moral and values systems that they have. Now, does the client agree with that or not? That's a separate question. And therefore, that question is more important. So if a client says that I would need to lie if I'm in this relationship and I don't want to lie. So there's a difference between I'm uncomfortable lying and I don't want to lie. I'm more interested in what the client wants to and does not want to do. Not on terms of emotional grounds, but what they think they don't want to or they want to do really. what they don't even want to become comfortable with.
It depends on their belief systems.
Correct. And that's what they have to, and that's where the pros and cons comes in, that they write that down. Now, for example, emotional torture, that is important because if the client says my partner actually comes and taunts me or beats me up, then it's not just about me feeling bad. It's about what my partner is doing and do I want to subject myself to that treatment or not. Right? I may tell the client that I may help you ignore that. But does the client want to ignore that? Does the client want to be in a relationship where a partner comes and taunts them in front of 20 people?
सर ये तो आपने बिल्कुल मेरा केस एक बोल दिया. मैं उस वही मेरे so the thing is can I sir?
हाँ बोलिए ना.
ये continue and is one of the option, but it is only one of the option. There can be many. For example, I have a couple like around senior citizen couple, and उनका आते ही ये होता है, मतलब issue is कि husband बोल करता हूँ and ये बुरा मान जाती है, and wife कहती है ये मजाक नहीं करते, ये तो taunt करते हैं. So अब इनके केस में continue और moving out का issue तो है ही नहीं. So यहाँ पर अब कुछ और issue आ जाएगा, right?
नहीं, so basic again the decision is, do you want to move out or continue? So the answer generally will be continue. But the person would say that I don't want my partner to taunt. Okay. And the second person would say I want her to have a sense of humor.
Yeah, okay.
Correct. I can work with both, where I can actually bring them. So that's how the couples counseling will happen, where we would actually then bring them to a place where we agree कि अच्छा इतना level का taunting चलेगा और इसके ऊपर नहीं चलेगा.
Okay.
And I want to learn to become comfortable till this level of taunting.
Okay.
Okay. And then that you can help them do in their individual counseling.
But for one, it is taunting. For the other, it is not taunting. For
Correct.
the same things have different.
Correct. So that's where we want to define the degree. कि किस लेवल तक का टॉन्ट आप टॉन्ट कंसिडर करोगे और उसके नीचे का कौन सा लेवल यू विल वांट टू टेक इट प्लेफुली. एंड देयर आर पीपल हु विल टेल यू दिस कि मुझे कभी कभी पता है कि कुछ कुछ चीजों में वो टॉन्ट नहीं कर रहा होता, कुछ कुछ चीजों में तो मजाक कर रहा होता, पर वो आदत हो गई ना, वो उस टोन में बोलता हो बस मेरी झिझक जाती है.
ओके.
राइट. सो आई वांट टू नो किस एरिया में टॉन्टिंग आप एक्सेप्ट कर सकते हो और किस में नहीं कर सकते हो. It's like clearly demarcating what the boundaries are. वो in relationships boundaries start overlapping and वहां पे बहुत problem हो जाता है because now we start our frustrations, our irritations also start translating from one area to another.
Okay.
Is this clear till here?
Yeah.
Yes.
For all of us?
Yes.
Okay. So is the pro and con clear?
Sir, one thing, like in this, when we are talking about this relationship, many times we come across this thing that when there is a marriage in the house, everyone is participating in some way or the other. Now, both the people are earning husband and wife. In-laws expect that the wife should also participate in the expenses of the house when she is working outside. And the wife believes that she does not need to participate or something like this. So at that time, which direction should we take the case to? It's
Nothing.
Both,
you are only working from the point of view of the client who's sitting in front of you. So if the client says, I don't want to give the money, so I don't want to give the money. So what is the pro of continuing? I'll have to give the money. What is the what is the con of continuing? I'll have to give the money. What is the pro of moving out? I'll save money. Brilliant. Now she has to choose whether that's an important enough decision for her or not. See, the pro and con is only being done from the point of view of the client that you are working with.
So one thing.
Okay. And in case if both partners are coming and they are both not sure of whether they want to be in a relationship or not, you will make them do a pro and con individually in individual sessions.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
that's an individual decision to make whether they want to continue or whether they want to move out. Once they individually make a decision, then you can bring them to a common ground.
So, like that in counseling, like when we somewhere I read in NLP that we do something like change of state, where we make a client sit in the opposite person's place and think why is she behaving like this. So at this point, we should not tell her no that now you sit in your in-laws' place and try to think that what reasons can she have to do this, to demand this from you. Do we do this, or it is not suggested?
So it's not suggested or not. It's one of the processes. It depends on how much time you have with the client and whether you want to use it or not. But generally, once you've explained suggestibility, sexuality, love languages to the client, they have enough conceptual understanding to know what's really happening. Beyond this, if you want, that they can also get an experiential understanding. Right? You can use a process called perceptual positions in NLP. In Gestalt, it's called empty chair technique. In hypnosis, it's called hypnodrama. So there are, Paris window. So there are variety of processes, but they basically are all attempting to do the same thing, which is to help the person understand the other point of view, right? Okay. Currently, we are looking at suggestibility, sexuality, and love languages as the starting point because that gives the clients conceptual clarity of why people are behaving differently. That helps them plan their life better. But from an experiential point of view, those techniques can also be brought in.
Okay, sir.
So one last question.
हाँ तृप्ति बोलिए.
So like आपने ये continue and moving out for heading रखा है, right? तो जो अभी case हुआ like the giving money or not giving money. So can't we put instead of continue moving out तो question ही नहीं है maybe. So can't we put here giving money and not giving money instead of moving out, not giving money, and instead of continue giving money.
That can become the sub part of it. So for example, you have done this, right? With the client has already said I want to continue with the relationship. That तो question ही नहीं है कि continue क्यों moving.
वो question ही नहीं है.
हाँ, तो वो बात खत्म हो गई. Now problem कहाँ आ रही है? पैसे देने पे.
In continuation there. हाँ.
हाँ. So now my question to the client is what is the problem with पैसा देना?
हाँ. तो उसके pros and cons करना.
हाँ. And the client says कि वो pros and cons भी हो सकते हैं. So then you can make them do pros. Basically this is for any decision. I'm just taking continue and moving out over here because in a relationship that's the first decision that the clients have to make. But even in your individual therapy, forget relationship counseling for a moment. Let's say a client comes and says, I have an option to either continue with my job or set up my own business. I'm not able to make a decision. That again boils down to pro and con.
So in the same case, it can be accept the mazak, not accept the humor. ये भी हो सकती है heading.
Correct. Correct.
Okay. In continuing.
In continuation. But I would actually ask the client rather than accept the mazak or not accept the mazak because it becomes like accept करना तो पूरा accept करना पड़ेगा और नहीं करना तो पूरा reject करना पड़ेगा.
Okay.
So we are again keeping them on extremes. I would want to rather ask them कितने level का आप accept करना चाहते हो किसके आप मतलब कौन से areas है जहाँ पे आपको लगता है कि इस areas में अगर taunt करेगा तो चलेगा. पर इस area में taunt acceptable ही नहीं. Right? So wo is better because then you're contextualizing it rather than doing it all or nothing.